Live. Okay. How are you, Chris Cuddy?
Doing good.
Well, thanks
Been a while.
It's been a while. And thanks for filling in for Jennifer. I don't know if you've seen Jennifer's alter ego, Svetlana. But today, everybody, how are you? Welcome to Right Stuff. You have reached us. We have a guest host today. Unfortunately, Jen's boyfriend had a death in the family, and so Jen is there now. And so we send all our prayers to them and the family. Young man, it was a tragic death. It was very unexpected. So she's there, beside her boyfriend where she belongs. But you guys get to see Chris Cuddy, and so do I, which is a great thing. So,
well, first, my condolences definitely to the family.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. All right, Bobby Dutcher is here with us tonight, and Debbie Lebedo. She's our in-house comic. Whether Jen is here or not, Debbie always gets us laughing. Anyway, so I guess I should do what I'm supposed to do, which is start the show, because Jen always yells at me that I don't. So here we go.
A half inch means a lot sometimes.
This pumpkin latte sucks, and I want to speak to your manager.
How much is the economy today? It's that much.
Objection, hearsay. Objection, leading. Objection, hearsay.
Where is that woman when Biden speaks?
All righty. That's her favorite part of the show, by the way, Chris. She only does the show so she can see that video clip.
I can't blame her.
Billy Nolan's with us today, and the professor. How are you, Professor? And Howard Zim, my condolences to Jen and her boyfriend. I went to my aunt's funeral today. Our condolences to you, Howard. I'm very sorry. I hope she didn't suffer. Well, we're going to try and lighten up the mood a little bit in the beginning of the show. But, Chris, we got so much to talk about.
Looking forward to it.
We have Joe Biden, more Joe Biden. Then we have
more Joe Biden?
More Joe Biden.
There we go.
We got Fannie Willis. We have Tish James. We have Kathy Hochul. Oh, my gosh. We have John Kerry. We're overflowing.
You got the all-star team today.
Yeah, the all-star. Overflowing with Democrats to make fun of. Gina's with us. Hello, Gina. My mom. Me windows and doors by the men with tools. Okay, Mom. You're plugging the men with tools, but Jen doesn't work there anymore. Hi, Lucille. Jen's boyfriend had a loss in his family, and so Jen is with him tonight. Good evening, Angela Ricca. Okay, Mom again. Yeah, let's go, Brandon. We've got plenty, but we figured that the only thing that might make you cringe more than Joe Biden and the all-star cast that I spoke about is a good mother-in-law clip. So I'm sure you love your mother-in-law, Chris.
Oh, dearly.
And I loved mine. But there are those out there that nobody wants as a mother-in-law. And this is one. Watch what this woman does at her son's wedding. Oh, it's terrible.
Boy.
And I can't wait for everyone. I love you.
Very well. Thank you.
You're not going to say my son has flaws.
We can give
leave.
Perfect. No, it's okay.
No, I don't have to leave.
It's all right.
That dress you're wearing, we paid for.
Let's calm down.
You're not going to ruin my
You are not going to say my son has flaws.
Wow.
Everybody has flaws, and that's why I love them. You can leave, Judy.
Like you don't have flaws.
You can leave.
You can get out of my wedding
I'm
now.
not leaving. That dress you're wearing, I paid for.
Let's split this.
Get out.
I'm not getting out.
Please.
Try it, and I'll have you arrested.
We're on a church.
Tony, get her out of here. This is not right.
Church. This is not.
I'm sorry.
Let's respect the wedding.
I'm not leaving.
All right. Just hold your
You
peace.
show respect.
Please,
You let
hold
your
peace.
daughter explode.
Let's just calm down. Let's say, hey, we don't need this. We don't need this.
I don't want to hear any squalls about.
What? the- like, oh gee, when did that even take place? That had to be somewhere in the South, right?
Oh, definitely. She's complaining that she paid for the bride's dress, but she's wearing shorts. Come on.
Like, I don't even, I can't even comment on that. I would be mortified beyond belief if that was my mother or my mother-in-law to be. Like, but I think she was in the right. Get out of my wedding.
But where was the son? He told her to hush up and then does nothing more. Just stands there and let his wife fight that battle. Well, we guess he's going to be holding her purse, I'm sure. It's going to be one of those. Oh my gosh. She's a Democrat. Yep.
There it is.
Mother from hell, indeed. Life sentence. Gotta love Debbie.
That's like a redo, a do-over wedding by every means.
That's they had just said their vows, but the pastor hadn't signed the papers yet. Me,
Yep.
if I was the bride, nope, out. I'm gone.
Goodbye.
I'm gone. Whose outfit, Ma? The bride or the mother-in-law? That was in Tottenville. Excellent, Billy. Excellent. Her son is a wuss. He should have spoken to his mother. It's not the bride's place to do that. I agree 100%. Hey, we have Beer Nuts from Twitter with us tonight. I think he's watching from Rumble. How are you tonight, Nut? Hide the gift bag.
Yeah, take the gifts and run.
Yeah, really. More like a death sentence. Does she know something? She could know something, maybe. Okay. All right. So anyway, I thought that I'd give everybody an opportunity to join us because not everybody tunes in right at 7:00. So that was our little comic relief.
That's great.
But we might have some more comic relief. Listen to the words of wisdom of our American president.
Okay, wait.
Joseph.
Okay, I'm ready to.
You're ready?
Yes.
And if you could tell me what he was trying to say, you get a prize, Chris. You get a prize. So here we go.
I guess I should clear my mind here a little bit and not say what I'm really thinking, but let me be clear.
Do you need me to play it again? Hold on.
I guess I should clear my mind here a little bit and not say what I'm really thinking, but let me be clear.
Okay. Well, at first I thought he was trying to impersonate someone from Star Wars. Because, like I was really thinking he was trying to say something, and I don't know what it was. But I think he's pretty much saying, yeah, I forgot what they told me to say. And, and really, this is, I gotta rethink about this. Teleprompter, please, somebody.
Excellent. Let me be clear. Let me be conscious. Hello, Susan Zarema. Good to hear that. Please give Bonnie my love, Beer Nut. Yeah. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know. Clear as mud. Yeah. He does.
Oh, I love that.
That's entirely possible. He must have dipped into the cartel's goodie bag. Yeah, really. Well, he wasn't doing Hunter's Coke because maybe he'd be a little bit more upbeat. His earpiece gobbledygook. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Gloria, this is Chris.
How you doing?
Gloria. Chris, if you can make Gloria laugh, she rings her own bell at home. So the goal is to get Gloria to have carpal tunnel syndrome.
I'll work on that.
Oh, Andrew Dorman is with us. That's great. He never thinks straight. No, he doesn't do anything straight.
He doesn't think, he doesn't walk, he doesn't speak straight.
Oh, okay. Mouthful of mush. Really? I mean, that was, this is just coming on the heels of the Her report, where they said that he couldn't remember anything and that he was a senile old man. And he tried to show that he wasn't. And this is his next speech. Bingo! Get him!
Yeah. I'm telling you, that was beautiful. The wisdom I just gained will take me through the rest of my life.
Let me be clear. Good point. Good point, Professor. Very good point. Apparently, he can't do two things at once. Yeah, really. Okay. All right. Well, he went to East Palestine finally. Did you see that?
Yeah, I caught wind of it. I didn't catch everything, but no. I did take note.
Oh, okay.
It was a brief clip somewhere I watched, and then I just ignored it. So it's like, I can't.
Well, here's the welcome he got when he got to East Palestine. Watch.
It's been over a year since a Norfolk Southern train derailed in East Palestine, Ohio, releasing dozens of chemicals, including toxic vinyl chloride.
And I know when I came home, my car was covered in dust and there was stuff everywhere. So there's no way we weren't exposed to it.
Now President Biden is paying a visit to the town near the Pennsylvania border.
There's more to do. Today I'm announcing the award of 6 National Institutes of Health grants to some of America's best research universities to study the short and long-term impacts of what happened here.
But some residents say it's too little too late, and they are still worried about their health, some demanding more investments in the town.
Our government just needs to do more for this community. We can send money to Ukraine and all these other countries and stuff, which if we're going to support them other ones, support people here in East Palestine first. They need it.
President Biden not exactly receiving a warm welcome here. In 2020, the surrounding county voted overwhelmingly for Donald Trump, who visited the site 3 weeks after the derailment.
Why did you not care before now? Is this all a political stunt? I mean, it's an election year.
I think, put simply, the president's administration is pretty busy.
All right. Well, first off, just the welcoming by itself was just crazy. But I have to agree with the other lady. I do think that it's more obviously political. It always is. But, he was too busy. He was getting his formaldehyde shots and whatever else he needs just to keep going, and
formaldehyde.
Yeah, I'm stealing that line from Mrs. Doubtfire ages ago, Robin Williams' part. But but seriously, it's just absurd. I can't even speak about that. He goes to these things. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't care about anything. And, he'll just make a nice little friendly comment and speech, whether they like him or not. And it's like, okay, let's go back home.
That's it. Back to the basement. How about that kid at the end? The president is frankly very busy.
Yeah.
The day before, his whole schedule was lunch with the vice president.
Yeah. And also though, we're fighting all these things in the Capitol and all this for sending money all these places. And again, they're right. Every state in this country needs something, and we're just printing it off and sending it away.
Sending it away is right. It only took Biden a year to get to East Palestine, right? Yeah. Maybe if he thought it was in Palestine, he might have gone sooner.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell him to drink the water. Yeah, that would help. Come on, Deb. He's on his last leg. Hunter is in charge of this committee, the East Palestine committee. Yeah. Politicians just need to keep quiet and let him run. Newsom and Michelle Obama are foaming at the mouth. Well, it's true, but I don't know. I don't know what their game plan is. Clearly, there's a game plan, and I'm just fearful because I don't see what they're doing, and I can't imagine that Americans, are going to vote Democrat no matter who's running. I don't think that the majority of Americans believe that the Democrats could get us out of the mess that Biden and company have put us in. They should have told the Biden administration that the population of East Palestine were all transgender. Yeah, then he would have got there.
Yeah, real fast.
Is there another train coming?
I'm surprised he didn't go into his whole life story of over there.
I think he did. This was just the news clip of the follow-up of the people that, didn't care for him being there.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, John Beccaria, good to have you. Hey, Joe, good to have you with us. Biden is a zombie. He forgot to lay down. The visit was absolutely for political purposes. I believe that. But what was his political gain? Honestly, when you wait a year to go to a place where there was a tragedy and Trump was there 3 weeks after, and then you go a year later and say that the reason that the place got demolished was because of greed, and that you're just now announcing air studies and this and that. I'm sorry, all those kids that were there for a year, how about all those infants breathing whatever it was that we don't know what it was? We already know. Remember 9/11? Oh, the air is good. Christy Todd Whitman. The air is clean.
Everything is perfect.
How many firefighters? How many? Everybody down there, not just firefighters, police, office workers, everybody down there. How many died? And how many millions of dollars has the government now paid out for that stupid, nonsensical statement? Same thing is going to happen here. Same exact thing. So how did it gain him politically? I don't know. Maybe I just don't see it.
Well, this is only a theory, but it's also possible that they're scheduling him to do these things so he looks even worse for whoever else might be running on their side. So that might be the game on the Democrat Party, not for him, but
for whoever they replace him with.
Yeah, or plan to.
Wouldn't a thinking person think, okay, if Biden or whomever the Democrats picked, like they installed Biden, now they're going to install Michelle Obama or Newsom or whoever else. Isn't the mistrust that has been fostered for the last 4 years, don't they expect that mistrust will translate to the next candidate?
I doubt it.
I don't know.
I strongly doubt it because, it's like being here in New York. You had Bloomberg. Oh, Bloomberg is horrible. Bloomberg's horrible. Then you have, then you come to de Blasio. And it's like, oh, we wish we had Bloomberg back. It doesn't switch. It's just a whole different group or a whole different person. So they hope that it's just going to be better, not worse. And then you turn around and wish that it was the other again.
Well, you're right, because we saw it with the Mazi Phillips and Tom Suozzi race to take the Santos seat. Suozzi actually was on Biden's side about opening the borders, and the number one issue is closing the borders, and they still voted for Suozzi because they knew his name. So I don't know. All right. Well, Gloria said something about the illegals and voting. So I'm going to skip around a little bit. I don't know if you all know this, but where is it? Here it is in my last clip. Kelly Wong. Have you heard of her? Anybody heard of her?
I've heard the name and not a clue of who she is on any level, though.
She's a Chinese immigrant who was just sworn in to be on the Elections Commission in California to inform migrants on how to vote. Now, this is all in Chinese. I have no clue what she's saying.
Okay.
Because that's how we roll.
So
right?
we'll pretend it's an old kung fu movie. We'll translate later.
Well, we could pretend we're in Bay Ridge. Okay, here we go.
咁就其實喺2年前我嚟到三藩市嘅時候咧，咁我就認識咗好多原來三藩市有好多嘅權利嘅喎，好多權利係好多非公民啊、移民咧都可以享有嘅，包括咧就算你唔係公民咧都可以咧去做委員去影響政策嘅。好多時其實我哋華裔啦或者亞裔嘅聲音咧都比較薄弱，咁咧特別係識講中文或者其他語言嘅人咧更加少咧係有個代表性嘅喺個議會上邊，所以我覺得亦都因為咁咧，我就覺得我好想代表我哋移民嘅聲音。其實我哋都一樣有交稅，我哋一樣對社會有貢獻，但係咧我哋政策上咧好少有我哋嘅聲音。
喺華人權益促進會任職倡導嘅黃永君係香港移民，佢今日喺三藩市市參市佩斯金陪同下宣誓成為選舉委員。作為非公民嘅佢形容成為選舉委員嘅過程歷經唔少挑戰。上任之後，佢計劃喺決策方面為移民同唔識講英文嘅選民發聲，提升移民社區嘅投票率。選舉委員職責包括監察選舉，確保選舉公平公正舉行。
Okay, so.
But before you say anything, do you think her real name is Kelly?
No. Definitely not. I'm even afraid to even come up with a name that it might be, but you know, I think, and you know, I might be misspeaking totally here, but I think what's going to happen is she's going to turn around and she's going to buy votes, either being out there with, you know, like if you vote, here's an egg roll, here, you know, or something absurd.
Yeah, well,
you know,
yeah.
Like they did something like that in Georgia, I think. But
de Blasio was giving people McDonald's and French fries to get the vaccine.
That's right.
I mean, I don't think you're wrong. I think that the whole goal here is I don't know if everybody saw, but over the weekend there was over 100 Chinese nationals crossed the border. They were all fighting aged males. So you know, they're going to California, and California is allowing non-citizens to become members of the police department. And clearly they've got something up their sleeves with voting. But, you know, the whole thing is when you're sworn into any position in government, you have to put your hand in the air, the other hand on the Bible, and you have to swear to uphold the Constitution. And if people have their allegiances to other countries.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing now. What Constitution? The U.S. Constitution or that county or that state's
No, the United States Constitution, all of them. Yeah, okay, all of them say that.
Because, you know, if you're going to California, you know, yeah, you follow this, you follow that, so on and so forth, you swear in, but you know, you're going to follow more the state guideline, you know, like, I don't know, it's just, you know, state legislature, state protocol as opposed to U.S.
Well, actually, it's, you know, I've been sworn in on the city level, on the state level, not on the federal level, but they all say the same thing, to uphold the United States Constitution and the laws that govern.
All right, so even in state, it's
okay. Even in city, low level, like the community board, I had to promise to uphold the Constitution. So you know, it's kind of like Ilhan Omar. You know, did she swear to uphold the United States Constitution? How about the other one there, Rashida Tlaib? I don't think so. I think Biden's Chinese battery is dying. Okay. Biden tried to relate to the people of East Palestine by telling them how he was on the Titanic when it wasn't.
Oh my God. I love that. That's great right there.
We have a funny audience. My cousin Laura loves what you're saying in your show. I'm in Florida for a few days. Oh, well, tell her thank you. And tell her to like and subscribe on YouTube or on Rumble. We need the followers. Does he need Paul Gain? Oh, come on. Oh, Paul Gain. The fix is in. I got it. Okay, I'm behind on the comments. All right, let me see if I can catch up. They're communists, not Democrats.
Yeah.
This is true. And Nassau County lost Lee Zeldin the election. Yes, it did. Hey, Maria Lupo, how are you? I just want to correct something. That's not Jen. That's Chris. Difference is that Bloomberg pretty much continued Giuliani's policy. Yeah, that's true. The election committee. That's right. All right. Here we go. Sweet Jesus. Yeah. Sounds like messages in Chinese I got in voicemail before COVID. Yeah, that's right. And you're right.
Yeah.
I should have done that. I don't know how to do that though. She's getting too million to act like she knows something. Yeah. Or like she's going to protect America and its votes. Okay, Maria Lupo.
Thank you. But I'm here. I'm in New York, so it's an acceptable mistake.
Mickey Petrides is with us. Do we get French fries to watch the podcast? No. You only get a headache when you watch the podcast. It's the only thing I give out.
If you want French fries, download the Burger King app every Tuesday.
Hey, there you go. I didn't know this. The professor's so smart. It's common for Chinese to give English second names to children. Okay, excellent. Her name is probably Kelly. They ripped up the Constitution. That's the truth. Hey, Ralph, how are you? They're following the Marxist playbook. Indeed. Feng Shui does not believe in swearing. Yeah, he helped Moses carry the tablets. Here we go again. All right. Okay, but Biden doesn't have a lot of fans, especially on this show, and definitely not in East Palestine. But here's a fan that he has, and we could actually talk over this, Chris. Did you see that Putin said that he prefers Biden to Trump? Putin actually endorsed Joe Biden.
Wow.
So let's see. We have Taylor Swift and Putin. I'm wondering, does Putin X out Taylor Swift?
I think it's just because he knows he could just do whatever he wants now. Like there is no politics here. It's such a disaster. If he tried anything under Trump, hell, I would even go as far back to even try daring to say Obama, Clinton, anybody. There would be some retaliation. With this guy, there's nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, Putin interviewed with Tucker Carlson, and he said that all of these sanctions that Biden is putting on them is actually, instead of trading in American money, now they're trading in Chinese money and their own money. So it actually strengthened their dollar, and China's I don't remember what it is now. I don't think it's a yen anymore. I think it's something else. But anyway, their economies are doing just fine. And the only ones suffering are Americans now because of the sanctions. Howard Zinn wants you to put on Svetlana's wig, Chris. Howard, you weren't here the last time Chris co-hosted. He did.
Oh, yeah, with the makeup, the whole nine.
Makeup, wig, lipstick. He had everything on. Biden should audition for a background dancer for Taylor Swift. Yeah, exactly. But I'm just wondering. I mean, right? If Taylor Swift is getting him millions of votes, will Putin cancel them out? I wonder. I don't know. Okay, so guess what? The Democrats are concerned about AI and how it will affect the upcoming presidential election. So CNN had a bid on it. Couple of days ago. So let's listen in.
How will we protect the electoral process? This week, a fraudulent robocall purporting to be President Joe Biden went out to between 5,000 and 25,000 New Hampshire voters, urging them not to vote in Tuesday's primary and to, quote, save their vote for the election.
Republicans have been trying to push nonpartisan and Democratic voters to participate in their primary. What a bunch of malarkey.
Pretty convincing, right? The source of the robocall campaign is unknown. It's under investigation. It's just the tip of the iceberg of how AI disinformation campaigns can disrupt elections. A chilling example of this happened last fall in Slovakia. Just days before their election, deepfake audio recordings circulated, seeming to be the progressive candidate plotting with a journalist. The Progressive Party was defeated by the pro-Russian Populist Party. Plus, there's a flip side of this danger. As fakes proliferate, it becomes easier for those who are actually caught on audio or video to brush it off as manufactured. In fact, Donald Trump has done just that. He attacked this ad the Lincoln Project ran on Fox News called Feeble, that was made from authentic footage, saying that it was, quote, using AI, artificial intelligence, in their fake television commercials.
Well, that's scary. But I'll tell you, in all reality, first off, Biden, he actually might be AI. Like, there's, you know, there is absolutely no way. Yeah, you know, so that was probably really him.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. Well, if it was AI, they could do something more with him. I would hope.
You know, he was like the beta test, the failed attempt.
Oh my God.
But
you know he's probably going to stop in-person news conferences and only start doing video conferences so they could use AI.
Well, yeah, I mean, about what, a year and a half ago, I don't remember what it was. I think Microsoft, they actually had where you know, I could put my face, I could talk the whole thing, and then it literally changes your whole face to whoever it is with their voice.
Yeah. So
I could see conferences and stuff doing that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that the whole setup, right, for them to start claiming that Biden won or whoever the Democrat won, and that the Republicans or the Russians were using AI or who knows. And
well, it can't be Russian anymore because they love Biden.
Yeah, they do. They love Biden. That's true. Well, I know that the professor sent me a little clip from CNN saying that Biden attended in his cabinet meeting. They talked about AI and that, you know, what happens if like they do an AI generated, like a senator tearing up ballots or, you know, people, you know, taking away ballots or whatever to create chaos and havoc in the American elections. What are they going to do? What's their response going to be? So we already saw what their response was to a protest on January 6th at the Capitol, which was force and police brutality. And then they claimed it an insurrection, even though Trump was the sitting president. And so you can't have an insurrection against by the sitting president of himself. So if anybody was guilty of the insurrection, it was Nancy Pelosi, who had the police
canceled out the police.
Right, sicked on the people who just wanted an answer to their questions, you know, and wanted Congress to look into the ballots. And not only did she do that, then she erects a fence around the place and then calls it an insurrection and then scoops up all these people who were there and call them insurrectionists. How did we get that so wrong? And how was that allowed to go on for as long as it is? But I don't know. Anyway, I went off. I got hot-headed. Go ahead.
Well, what they should really do is just make Election Day a national holiday. Everyone gets it off, and there you go. It's not running from work. You don't need mail-in ballots. Well, with mild exceptions, but everyone will have the opportunity throughout the entire day to actually just go. It's a paid day off. Take, I don't know, Black Friday. Get rid of that, you know, if you need to swap something. Well, you know, just take some other holiday that really means nothing and put it for Election Day. Like, that's far more important than a sale that you're probably going to buy something on Cyber Monday anyway.
Well, if only people thought that voting was that important. I love Debbie. Biden sounds like he's trying to translate Chinese. That's excellent. AI is being funded to screen for fake news. Yeah, exactly. The Democrats are all artificial intelligence. It's feeling that way. Yeah, no, you can't believe the Lincoln Project. Biden is a Stepford wife.
Oh, that's awesome.
Orwell would be proud. Indeed, Professor. Let's see. The majority of Democrats will never vote for a Republican candidate. They only care about one or two issues like abortion and climate change. They're oblivious to the economy, crime, and foreign policy. Yeah, do you think that's all Democrats, though? I don't think that the older Democrats, like my Italian grandfather or some of the older union workers. Yeah. I don't think it's for. I think it's the new kids, the kids.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we do need voter ID.
Because there are really four parties now. You have the far left, the middle right, far right. Like the way I see it, each party is fractured up. So the ones in the middle are really the real Republicans and Democrats. The far ones, they're just all whacked on both sides.
That's true. All right, we're going to move it along because I can't believe how fast the time is going, and I've got a couple of good clips here that we need to talk about. All right, so remember, you might have seen it on one of the other shows. Remember when Biden was on the council on foreign affairs, and he was bragging about getting rid of the attorney general in the Ukraine, and he said that that's the attorney general that was actually investigating Burisma and Hunter Biden.
Yeah, okay.
And he said he wasn't going to give them the money if they didn't fire the attorney general. Well, guess who else is talking about that? Watch.
I will tell you, because as Secretary of State, I was deeply involved in this. All of us in the administration were trying to get rid of that prosecutor. From Obama to the Secretary of State to the Vice President, all of us were working on that. The ambassador, and we knew if Ukraine was going to survive and win the revolution in the end, the Maidan, they had to get rid of that prosecutor, and they did.
I didn't even know he was still around.
He's our climate czar. He flies around in his private jet telling everybody to save fuel. He's our climate czar, John Kerry. Oh, well. All right. Well, did you see, I'm sure you did, last week, Judge Engoron found Trump liable for a victimless crime, and he ordered him to pay $354 million plus 9% pre-verdict interest, which comes out to over $400 million to the state of New York because Tish James was prosecuting him. Well, I've been saying for a long time that if he was found guilty, that New York would ground to a halt. Well, here is Kevin O'Leary, who is a big-time investor, and listen to what he had to say about New York.
We've got Kevin O'Leary back with us, O'Leary Ventures chairman, Shark Tank investor. You know, Kevin, you had mentioned, and it was a very profound kind of comment, that, some of these other businesses do have right to be concerned, whether they like Donald Trump or not. Maybe you can elaborate on that.
Well, this award, just leaving the whole Trump thing out of it and seeing what occurred here, and I'm no different than any other investor. I'm shocked at this. I can't even understand or fathom the decision at all. There's no rationale for it. And so let me give you a real-time experience I'm having regarding this, and I'm not the only one. It doesn't matter what the governor says. New York was already a loser state, like California is a loser state. There are many loser states because of policy, high taxes, uncompetitive regulation. It was already on the top of the list of being a loser state. I would never invest in New York now, and I'm not the only person saying that. Do you think any foreign institution or any private equity firm or any pension fund would touch New York? No. And that's why New Yorkers should be concerned. The fine people of New York should ask themselves, why are we such a loser state? How are we going to attract business? It's not just the existing businesses that are fleeing out to Texas and Florida. What about new money like this that I'm talking about, like a $4 billion data center? Not a chance I would put that in New York. Zero probability. Never.
So, Kevin, what did you think of Governor Hochul saying this is like a unique one and done because Donald Trump went too far and was so nefarious? You guys, if you're just doing what you should be doing, you have nothing to worry about. But they're very worried about it.
Yeah, we're very worried. Every investor is worried because where is the victim? Who lost money? This is some arbitrary decision a judge made. This policy and what this says, what does this say about the bar, the legal bar in New York? Aren't they going to question this judge? What is this? $355 million and there's dollars as a penalty and there's plus interest at 9% and there's no victim? I mean, I'm sorry, her words fall on deaf ears to everybody. There's nothing she can say to justify this decision. And this has nothing to do with Trump. Nothing to do with Trump. Forget about Trump. This is not a Trump situation. This is a New York problem now. The whole world is looking at this saying, what are you doing to yourself?
I love him. Shark
Brilliant.
Tank, like him in general, just brilliant. Bless you.
Well, let's, this is a clip from Tish James. Listen to this.
The President of the United States has complained that I'm engaging in some sort of political witch hunt, that I've got some personal vendetta against him, that I campaigned against him. That is not true.
This illegitimate president who sits in the White House. That president, because he's not my president, he's an illegitimate president. His days are numbered. His days are numbered.
We've got to get ready to mobilize, and we've got to get ready to agitate and irritate until victory is won, but more importantly, until Trump is defeated. We will all rise up and resist this man,
And ultimately, we'll bring him down.
this illegitimate president. I'm going to give you the same level of respect that you gave to President Obama, and that is absolutely no respect at all.
Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. And the days of Donald Trump are numbered. Lock him up. Lock him up. What? Lock him up. What? Lock him up. What? Lock him up.
Yep, absolutely nothing against Trump at all. Absolutely nothing.
Not a thing. I have nothing against Trump. This wasn't personal. And even the governor says it was only Trump. It was nobody else. Only Trump. Oh, don't worry. We won't prosecute you until we do. Oh, yep. My God. All right. We got a lot of comments here. It's like the video you played last week. Democrats don't get religion until something bad happens to them. Yeah, it's the truth. I work the next election. We're not allowed to ask for ID. See, in South Carolina, you must show ID. I just voted.
Yeah, Pennsylvania, too.
Yeah. Still today, Biden funds Ukraine because they have the receipts on him. Absolutely, they do, Debbie. Republicans are secretly Democrats, but no Democrat is really a Republican. Whoa. Good comment, Bobby. Good comment. Good comment. How come? Why is that? Yeah, it's definitely a payoff. I stopped buying Heinz ketchup because of John Kerry. Just for anybody that doesn't know, he was married to the heiress of the Heinz ketchup situation. That's the problem. Yeah. Russian Revolution was instigated in 1905 Bloody Sunday demonstration, which was interpreted as an insurrection. Yeah, and they twist it around, and we let it stand, and nobody is calling anybody out on that. I like Kevin O'Leary. I can't stand Cavuto. Cavuto is a tool, a useful idiot. Neil Cavuto, my opinion, useful idiot. Legal bar is where AOC were.
I love you, Debbie. That's great.
Debbie's great. She should be disbarred. Yeah, she should. Tish James should be disbarred. Okay, we have a consensus on that. When Trump wins, she's done. No, because he doesn't control that stuff. And you know what? He didn't even go after the people that went after him on the campaign trail with the Russiagate and all that stuff. He had the FBI. He could have done all that, and he didn't. I mean, that's the difference between him and Biden. Biden is using all the tools to go after Trump, but Trump, he did his job as president, and he didn't take vengeance, and that was his problem. Good.
No worries here. Oh, what's it called? The one thing I don't get is that judge. I don't know how he was still able to sit in that case, because he was saying negative things about Trump off the record.
Yeah.
So that's not impartial. Like he should have been thrown. The case should have been thrown out, in my opinion.
But the problem is, who was going to throw it out? The whole New York judiciary is either elected in a Democrat district, right, or appointed by the governor. So the governor could have removed Tish James. But you want to know what? I'm kind of glad this all.
The judge.
I understand. I understand what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
But who was going to reprimand him? The judiciary, all the way up in New York, up to the Supreme Court, and everybody that sits on it. If the chief prosecutor of the state is saying, I'm going to go after him, and the governor who appoints these judges says, okay, go after him. So then who's going to slap Tish James's hands? Who's going to slap that judge's hands? He's got to recuse himself. And it was asked because his daughter actually worked as an intern for Biden. And Trump requested that he recuse himself, and he said no. He said no. And if nobody's going to take action, that's why Roe v. Wade lasted as long as it did, right? Nobody took action against it. Supreme Court didn't take it up, and so it stayed on the books for all those years, even though it went against states being autonomous.
Yeah.
So you got to have the person or the entity with the desire to fight it, and then the decision to be made. Tucker Carlson gave a history lesson on Peter Wrangel and Bolshevik Revolution. Really did. It was a great interview. If you guys didn't watch it, you should. Okay, well, here's another one that's going after Trump. This one in Georgia. Fannie Willis. Now, this clip is only about her vacations with Nathan Wade, who was the chief prosecutor, who she hired be the chief prosecutor on the Georgia voter fraud case. Listen to how many vacations they took in the 17 months that they were together leading up to the Trump indictment.
What's the first time you went on vacation with Mr. Wade? I think the first time we went on vacation was around April of 22, and it's a vacation is a stretch, but I'm trying to be comprehensive. I recall April of 22. His birthday is March the 18th, so that would have been his 49th birthday. I took him to Tennessee for the day. I think we went to a museum. I think we might have stayed the night. I'm not sure, but I mean, Tennessee's kind of hard to call a vacation, but I just am trying to be inclusive. So let me tell you our real trips. In October, we went on the cruise with his mom. We got back from the cruise with his mom, and we went to Aruba. I consider that one trip. Second trip, New Year's Eve, we went on a cruise to the Bahamas. That's the second trip. I want to make sure I get this right. Third trip, 100% on me. I think he might have spent $200 on that entire trip. We went to Belize. That was my trip. That was, his 50th. And then Napa Valley, we went around May. I don't know the dates, but it seems to me like it was close to Mother's Day. And those are the only trips? So that the record is complete, I can remember one time driving to, where were we? South Carolina, and we met my sister for lunch with her man. When was that? I don't know, but we didn't stay the night there. But I guess people would consider that a trip if you drive somewhere and you come back. That was insane because it was 5 hours to drive. We ate lunch and we drove right back. I can remember driving to some little town in Georgia. I don't even know where I was. I had never been there before or after. There's some boat you can get on over to, and there's like a slave thing, if that gives anyone any reference. We didn't do that. I remember doing that. I remember driving one time to Charlotte. We had lunch with one of my very close girlfriends. And again, we drove to Charlotte, met my girlfriend for lunch, and drove right back. So that's a trip. We didn't stay the night there, but I just want to be complete in my testimony.
You're going to prosecute the president, a former president of the United States, and the 17 months leading up to the indictment. You're taking all these trips.
First off, how did she even get to where she is? Because she's saying, "Oh well, I went here and here. That's one trip. Oh, but we drove here, but that's not a trip because we drove." People take a trip to the stupid grocery market. Like, a trip is when you're going with other people to an event or something else, whether it's out of state or out of the country. Like,
you had to see her bookkeeping. She didn't remember where she put her money. She said that all her trips, that Nathan Wade paid for everything, and she paid him back in cash because she keeps a mound of cash in her house. And
no
also,
bribe.
We find out later on by Terrence, what was his name? Barkley, I think is his last name. Bradley, Terrence Bradley, Nathan Wade's partner, that he was putting trips on his credit card so that there was no paper trail. Please. That thing was remarkable.
Yeah, absolutely no bribery there either.
No bribery. First rule Democrats have when buying a dictionary is to cross off the words ethics, integrity, honesty, and truth. I think we could say that of all of DC, Democrat or Republican.
Yeah,
Tucker
and Hollywood.
Yeah. Okay. Judge and Trump case looked like Doc Christopher Lloyd in Back to the Future. He sure did. Possibility exists that the judge did Trump a big favor in appeals court. Maybe I got to go back to that. You know what? Definitely, because he didn't let him speak. He didn't allow a lot of testimony. Civil is different than criminal, but you still have to follow a code of conduct in the courtroom where the accused has an opportunity to represent themselves, and this judge didn't. So on appeals, that's the only real way to get things overturned is if the judge didn't follow the rules and regulations. So you're absolutely right about that. He's like DA Fanny. She be true. Yeah, really. This woman prosecuted Trump for a non-crime. Meanwhile, she's stealing from the government to pay for her boyfriend and her vacations. Absolutely. I think it was $900,000 she paid him. $900,000. That's crazy. Yeah, really. When did they work? That's what I want to know. Wade and Willis have different problems. Wade testified he used his corporate card to pay for the vacations and that a lot of my clients paid me in cash. Both of those are probably state and federal tax fraud. And Willis said she got the cash to pay Wade from the campaign fund she took to her home. That's called campaign finance fraud. Their audit should be happening now. Should be is the operative word there.
Yeah, should.
In the words of our mayor, show me the money. Yeah, indeed. The sad thing is she's probably more qualified than Kamala Harris. So true. Okay, so all right, let's move on to kids. Kids today. All right, so we're going from these lunatics to this lunatic.
Other lunatics.
Listen to this young girl. Watch.
I want to be passed around so bad, but my boyfriend just wants a monogamous relationship. It's 2024. Expecting to be with one person for your entire life is unreasonable. I'm a young 18-year-old Latina. I'm trying to get my face blasted by multiple men. I haven't even had a quickie in a bathroom stall. I have so much to live for. And you're telling me that I have to stay with this one guy because I love him so much. But there's literally guys out there with 13-inch meats waiting to destroy me.
Okay. Well, yeah, she's definitely a genius there. I'll tell you that much.
18-year-old girl.
This is what our youth is. God, I hope to God in every which way, shape, and form my kids are learning the right way. Because if that's what they're watching, I'll kill them both.
She wants to be passed around, meaning she wants to have sex with multiple men. She wants her face blasted, which means
Yeah.
she wants men to destroy her, which means that she wants to really get it hard. 18 years old. 18 years old. This is what they're talking about on TikTok. Think about that.
And
lovely
more-
dumb attitude.
And she's more excited about trying to get a quickie in the bathroom too, outside of whatever.
I'm 18 and I haven't had a quickie. God bless you, Debbie. 50 years next year. I know you're on death row, but you'd have it no other way. The sad thing is she's probably more. We read that already. We read that. Bet her parents are proud. I wonder if her parents are on TikTok. But you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if her parents are doing the same.
Are similar.
The problem with being found guilty, Trump, in order to appeal, still has to put up a bond of $400 million in order to proceed. Yeah, that's the truth. I guess entering the combat is out of the question.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I got to be quicker on these comments. She's your future Stormy Daniels. I love it. How are you, Martin Lee? Great parenting. Yeah, exactly. Marriage isn't having children in lieu. Yeah, right. No more. Could you? I remember my mother saying, "Keep an aspirin between your legs. Don't you open your legs." And now this is what we got. All right, I got. Let me see. Hold on. We did Kelly Wong. All right. Oh, this one. This is a genius. Watch this.
You're saying that you would like a gentlemanly man, somebody who courts you, takes you on a date, all of these sorts of things?
Absolutely.
I'm a little bit in two minds here because I can hear what you're saying, but then I can see that you're dressed as a cat.
I'm a dog,
and
so...
You call yourself a dog.
Woof, yes.
Do you think that that might be a deterrent for a man who is more traditional if you're dressing like a dog?
No, I don't. I'm not.
So when you look at a relationship, are you looking at like a pet owner type relationship, or like two dogs in the relationship, or what's your ideal?
A partner who loves and respects me and sees me as an equal that I am.
But you see yourself as an actual dog, right? You said you like to go play fetch.
Woof, yes.
So how does that tie into your relationship? Like, what are you looking for if you're a dog?
I'm looking for somebody to throw me a ball and then also say, oh, hey, I appreciate you.
This podcast, whatever, they are fantastic. You gotta watch. Everybody needs to watch that podcast. It will blow your mind.
My favorite is she's like, "Woof, yes."
Yeah, woof, yes.
Like,
I want somebody to love and respect me and pull on my collar and give me flea baths and yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. So so from the kids, those are our kids. Look what happened to this 90-year-old woman who doesn't understand today's world. She was a volunteer for 60 years with MS until the dreaded pronouns came into play. Watch.
My husband had MS, and to keep busy, he took over this Long Beach Lakewood MS support group. And I helped him, of course, all the time. And when he passed away, which is 20 years ago, I decided to keep the group going because everyone wanted to continue it.
How many years were you involved with the MS Society?
About 60 years.
Recently, you had some kind of interaction with a representative from the MS Society where she asked you to use your pronouns. So when she first asked you that, I mean, what was your reaction? What was your response?
I was confused. I didn't know what it was, what it meant. And I'd seen it on a couple of letters that had come in after the person's name. They had the pronouns, but I didn't know what that meant. And so finally, when I was talking to her, I thought, I'll ask, what does it mean? And, let her tell me. And so she said it meant that they were all inclusive, which didn't make sense to me.
My mom was saying that we've always been the MS Society
as a whole and the Long
And the
Beach
group.
has just always been inclusive.
A few days later, it was on a Friday at, was it 4:58?
At 4:58, which we thought was odd, but anyway.
At the end of the day, end of the week, I got an email from her saying that they were sorry, but they had to ask me to step down as a volunteer for the MS Society.
And the reason being is that you're not inclusive enough.
The verbiage she said was that she didn't abide by their diversity, equity, and inclusion, so they have to ask her to step down, and she's can't be a part of the MS Society as a volunteer.
That's absurd.
Absurd.
Like, and that's being very nice, but like after all that time, because someone doesn't understand the whole. It took me over a year just to understand it myself. You know,
I still don't understand it.
You know, but you know, I deal with it every day. You know, at work in New York.
That's true. That's true.
But like that's wrong on so many levels.
Just for asking the question. Michael Cox wants to be called the Grand Exhausted Mystic Ruler. Okay, that's his pronoun. Very sad, Lucille. It's very sad. They didn't want a normal person involved. You're absolutely right. I want to go back a little bit to some of the dog lady comments because put her on a leash.
Put her on a leash.
These are true aliens. Yep. Oh my God. She wants someone to throw her a boner. I got a stick for her. Oh, I love it. I'll throw a ball at her very hard. Oh, I love it. I love our audience. I can't believe what these kids, are doing. Yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. So we live in this crazy world where this new Generation Z are setting all new ground rules, and Congress and WHO and the elites and everybody are kowtowing to these kids.
And the funny thing is, as big, as loud as their voices are, they're not really big groups. It's just that they talk enough that they get everybody else riled up that is at even the slightest bit willing to listen. And they're like, oh my God, you're right. Because the other side's not saying anything to oppose it because they're too scared.
They're afraid they'll be uncool. And now a 90-year-old woman who gave money, time, and effort to this organization for 60 years is now out. Well, I am so interested to see how the fundraising for MS falls off, because that was Libs of TikTok that had that exclusive interview, but then I saw it again this morning on Newsmax and some others. So hopefully they'll tell Fran's story, and hopefully, go woke, go broke. We've seen it already with Bud Light. We've seen it with Target. We've seen it with so many. Lucille identifies as normal. You are absolutely normal, Lucille. Improper use of adjectival pronoun in conjunction with an adverb. I love the professor. I see stupid people. See you next Tuesday. Goodbye, Bobby Dutcher. Yeah, we're over. Problem is when they glue their hands and feet to walls and sidewalk, people actually help get them free. Just leave them there. Oh, absolutely. All right, Chris. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Do you have any final words?
No, just everyone have a great week. Enjoy, and if you're in the cold areas, try to keep warm.
Drink a lot, he's saying. Drink a lot. All right, everybody. See you next Tuesday. Love you all.
Take care.